If you know me, you know the spiel. My name is Caravan Dan. I run the Gaming Caravan. It's a gaming caravan. It's a gaming caravan. It's a tabletop marketing events company based here in Central Florida. We do monthly events. If you're in the Orlando, Florida area, or Florida at all, and you want to travel to a once-a-month event, go to the description, get your free ticket now. We also host our own convention called Caravan Convoy, amongst other things. We're starting to do about 4 conventions a year, massively, and then again, we have our monthly flea market, board game day. So if you're in the Florida area, you want to give it a shot, check us out. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite worker placement games. And starting with number 5, we have Lords of Waterdeep. If anyone surprises us on here, you probably haven't played this game, or you have a weird opinion in board games. They're all valid though. Definitely take a chance to play Lords of Waterdeep, but I have to add an asterisk. It's only with the Skulls of Skullport expansion. I do not like playing it, the base game. I played it with Skulls of Skullport. That kind of like potential to get more rewards, but have to take some negativity to it. And then the late game having to like get rid of those curses creates really unique and really ingenuity and real, I don't know, and really intelligent combinations for the game. Makes the players feel smart, makes me feel smart, and I'm down for any games that allow you to do some nice chaining with your locations. You have a good amount of workers, you get an extra worker like halfway through the game, which is also pretty fun. I love games where you actually can increase the amount of workers you have. But it's a very base game. It's not ever bad. I've never gotten close to winning. Maybe I've won one time in a group of friends that don't really game too much, but it's a very fun game, and I'm a D&D guy, and it really represents the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons very well. If you know D&D, you recognized it based on the Lords of Waterdeep. Definitely try it out if you're a D&D fan. Next up, we have number 4, Dune Imperium. Now, Dune Imperium is very unique because it has a lot of primary attributes to it, but it works out very well. It is a resource management, it is a worker placement, it is a deck builder, but all of them work very well together. It's a fun game overall. You might only have 2 workers, but it's one of those things where you can buy a 3rd worker if you want. And then maybe you can get the mentat, whatever it might be, and to get a potentially 4th worker in that turn. The way you use them is all that really matters, but the way you use them can vary completely depending on what player you are. I've played this game multiple times. I've done the spice road strategy, where you try to get all the spice that flows. I've done the guild strategy. I've done as many things as I can think of, and the expansions, the Rise of Ix, it's just such a good expansion. I really do appreciate Dune Imperium. It's a very potentially heavy game that makes you feel like the options are more streamlined. It's hard to get too deep in AP with it, unless you get later in the game when you're really trying to find the right option for your moves. And then again, the asymmetric character options just make it that much more fun. So depending on who you have, that's how you can play the game a bit differently, most likely. And overall, it is just a great game. It is almost on my top 5s for all the mechanics it uses. So definitely play Dune Imperium. I don't even care about the IP. I'm a huge nerd, but I've never cared about Dune. The most I got from Dune growing up was like from Chuck, the TV show, which is completely irrelevant to like Dune. It barely mentions Dune, but that's the most I got. So Dune Imperium is number 4 on the top 5 worker placements. Number 3, we have Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz, first of all, great theme. Worker bees, worker placement. You're literally placing your worker bees. It's one of the most literal worker placement games you could possibly have, because it's all about the worker bees. It's all about the worker bees. And it's very satisfying, and then you take an action to recoup. The turns are very streamlined. I took a little bit of my turn. It was my first time playing, but even then the game went pretty smoothly. And it's a game where you can get a hold of it. It's pretty interesting with the hexagon shapes, and then the tile placements aspect of it as well. But I believe the worker section works very well. It's also a great market manipulator game if you like the market. You can't manipulate it too much, but you can utilize it in certain ways that could benefit you significantly if you know what you're doing. And I enjoyed that aspect a ton. I actually sucked for half the game, and because I sucked so heavily for half the game, and with the goals that were on the table, which was like to have the most amount of workers, I was positioned perfectly to win. So I actually barely won, but I still won my first game of Honey Buzz. It's a great game overall. It's designed very well. It's actually in the new Rolling Realms Redux, which we have a giveaway for right now. Go to the description of this video, go to our Gaming Caravan monthly board game giveaway, do the 90-second survey, and you'll be entered to win a copy of Rolling Realms Redux anywhere in the world. Just make sure to fill it out. And subscribe if you like what we do. Like the video if you like that too. Yeah, number 3, Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz is a fantastic worker placement game. And again, the pun intended, like one of the most literal worker placement, like worker bee placement games. So cool. Number 2 for worker placement games, we have Champions of Midgard. I've only played it one time. This was also mentioned in one of my favorite dice roller games. It's my top 5 dice roller game. check out that video. You go to the channel or click somewhere around my face, hopefully, to find that. It is a great dice roller game with very unique settings, but today we're going to talk about the worker placements. It's similar and reminiscent to Lords of Waterdeep, but with more purpose, in my opinion, because you're going to fight monsters. The whole thing is a monster combat, monster fighting system. Just that alone, instead of like just using and hiring workers to go do stuff for you, you're doing a very similar mechanic because you're literally also hiring workers of different kinds and different skills to fight with you. But because of the dice rolling element, and then the part that you have an army, you have to feed your army, you can send them on journeys on the sea. It's a lot more interesting than Waterdeep, and honestly, it's just better. There's no two ways about it. It's just a better game. So if you like Waterdeep, definitely check out Midgard. Only if you like dice rolling, because that is a primary element in this game. No two ways about it, but also it's very fun. Definitely like kind of a little bit luck based, but not too crazy. Nothing that wouldn't be luck-based as is in the real life. Like if you just take a crew out and say, hey, let's go against this guy. He seems hard. You never really know how hard they are until you go face to face. You know how it is. Everyone knows how to fight until they get punched in the face. And number one, my favorite worker placement of all time. It's very fun. Just expensive. Dwellings of Elderil. I played this one time at Dice Tower East in 2023. I did mention a few of these games on my dice rolling game list, but it's funny how there's a good amount of dice roller games that also have worker placement involved with it. I can't describe it too much to you. It just has such a unique aesthetic to it and such a unique story behind the game. I believe you're in the world of Eldervale, and the dwellings. You're setting up your own dwellings that have to be next to each other in different hexes to stack different points. You fight with each other for dominance on the land. It's fun. It's unique. The way it does everything in the game is just unique. I personally haven't seen another game that has the experience or does what Dwellings of Eldervale does in another game. And I believe that that's one of the reasons it's listed so highly for me. Just because all the games I play, I don't replay games very often, sadly, just because of the job. I have to play all these games, know everything about all these games. I've played a ton, and Eldervale is a unique experience I haven't played since. It reminds me, it's as unique to me as Nemesis is in that experience, where they're both irreplaceable, in my opinion. But I will say this much, you don't really need the Deluxe Edition. Deluxe Edition is expensive, and when we played, even with the bases, and with someone, I believe someone controlled one of the giant boss monsters. Even with doing that, we used the shiny bases that make noises, all stuff, one time possibly, like one time each. So that's like 5 or 6 times. It's not something too necessary, but it does elevate the experience overall. But there's a reason why I see a bunch of people selling that game. They realize that's just not being played. It's a heavy game. It has a huge table presence. That board game map is lethal. Like the neoprene, oh my gosh. We tried using it at Dice Tower East 2023. Did not fit in the table. The neoprene is its own hurdle right there. But that's it. And that's number one for the top 5 worker placements. Again, we have Lords of Waterdeep, Dune Imperium, Honeybuzz, Champion of Midgard, and Dwellings of Eldervale. If you have any questions, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, comment your favorite worker placement games you've ever played. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And like the video if you just want to support us in general. So go to the description of this video, go to our Kickstarter, and follow it to find out how you can support us more and play Stockpile, our first ever card game coming out in like 4 months. It's crazy. Super excited to show you guys how it works. It is a dice rolling game. It is a creature collector, because creature collectors are my favorite, and dice rolling is a pretty fun mechanism, in my opinion. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Peace. Have a great day. God bless. I'll catch you guys next time.